go for like a Gleipnir or the Aghanim Scepter, right? All these items end up being very valued. Especially into the Razor and DP, I would very much expect an Ags to be one of the core items for the Bloodseeker this game.
Yeah, it's like they said, heroes with a lot of mobility, you can shut them down just by dropping the Rupture on them. So having 2 charges would help quite a bit. Do you like what LGD do? They tend to mix up their drafts a little bit more than these other teams, and you know, it does throw people off. Just a couple matches ago when they were playing against, it was Phoenix. They ended up picking the Undying up against the Mars, and I felt like that was pretty good for a number of reasons. This game, they go for the Snapfire, even though they don't have a, Mars Arena in order to protect you. You're not playing against Phoenix to take advantage of Little Shredder, but it does do a lot of burst damage, and between that and I think like having a Bloodseeker that forces people to fight in one place with that Rupture, a lot of damage can come out from that one as a support. So, I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah, big fan of the LGD draft. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, a lot of game to be played. I'm curious. The last pick Tide for the side of Vici Gaming, to me it feels a little bit lacking in terms of like what they could have done with their last pick.
Why is that? What would you prefer to see?
I mean, just it doesn't really do much into the Luna lane. Like Irving, I think is still gonna have a pretty rough time on this off lane. Like you're into Luna Bane. Like these heroes slap really hard. So I'm not really sure exactly what the best pick was. I did kind of like the idea of running the off lane Death Prophet, picking a better core matchup into the Luna. The Terrorblade, obviously one of the better ones for sure, but
I do like it. You do need something to sit in front of towers as the PSG heroes try to run at them, and who better than Tidehunter, who's got the Kraken Shell in order to deal with that Nightmare Fiend's grip coming out. So up until Kunkka gets himself a Silver Edge in order to deal with the Kraken Shell, they're going to be able to turn these team fights around, and they do a lot of damage between the Razor with the Static Link and Eye of the Storm, and of course the Death Prophet running at people with that Exorcism. Kunkka does a lot for a support hero at the beginning of the game as well. So taking the fights, PSG.LGD, it's not going to be so easy to fight into VC's heroes, especially when you try to dive. You can turn things around pretty quickly with the Tidehunter.
Yeah, absolutely. Mid lane, the matchup went pretty dang good for nothing to say so far into the Death Prophet, and this is a matchup that Death Prophet is supposed to crush. So off to a little bit of a rough start there for DP, but I'm sure once you get a couple more points in that Spirit Siphon, it'll ease up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Kunkka does pretty well against any, Death Prophet does pretty well against any melee strength hero, Kunkka included. So the moment you try to run at the Death Prophet Punisher, or get close to the wave in order to get yourself to CS, you can run him down as far as like the tower line before you're forced to get back.
Why? Not in the right neighborhood here. Ends up, he'll be fine, but taking a lot of damage there from these two heroes.
Yep. No points in Dominated Attack or the bugs yet on the Weaver, so the Gush just by itself, like you do a little bit of right-click damage because Weaver's high-base damage is staying on top of people with the Scucci, but without that level 2, you don't have massive kill threat. Bane would be able to turn that around, especially so close to his tower.
Weaver actually getting a nice block there on that easy camp. Bottom lane, one thing that is going to make this Bloodseeker's life a little bit difficult, though, is the static link from the Razor, right? The only real quote-unquote escape mechanic you have from the link is just being thirsted, so that's not very good. Meanwhile, nice tag team. They jump right onto the Snapfire, does a decent chunk of her health, so she's going to zone her out. She'll pop that salve, trying to reset her lane.
We've pushed pretty far back, so they can be reasonably safe where they are right now. Of course, mid lane, that faking out those torrents or committing the torrents, you're never sure where they're going to drop because, it's built like cancel in the middle of the cast animation, or you don't necessarily need to be facing the direction that you're casting it. So a lot of predictions in this lane with the Kunkka versus the Death Prophet matchup, but nothing to say. Looking in amazing form, as good as ever. 18-2 right now to the Death Prophet's 12-2, and like we said, DP should be winning this lane, but nothing to say here at full HP and ahead on CS.
He's torrent stacking his small camp as well off the screen there, so playing, just maximizing his farm in every capacity.
Pretty sure that one still works. The 57-second mark, you throw the torrent up into the air, and it'll stack it on the Z-axis. Pretty sure it still works.
It looked like the camp stacked on the torrent, from the mini-map, so we'll see. But top lane, Irving taking a little bit of harassment damage here from the side of Blind. They're going to go ahead and try and turn it around. This could be the first blood. The Nightmare comes through, but they don't end up finding the kill. It goes the way of some creeps, but still, first blood nonetheless for Vici Gaming.
Yeah. Nice find, and just playing in this Luna's face, you really prevent her from doing much damage. And once the Bane was down, with the Anchor Smash debuff onto you, even with that Lunar Blessing, you weren't going to be able to click down the Tie Hunter. So, advantage already for the side of VC. And as much as you didn't like this one, I think it is pretty solid as the game goes on, especially if he's like defending points that PSG are trying to push. He doesn't necessarily have to build a Blink Dagger if PSG are making the aggressive move, but depends on how much of the map they control about whether or not VC are the ones that need to make these aggressive moves and set up jumps on these enemy heroes, because outside of the Ravage, they don't have great ways of holding down these enemy heroes. It's just Tusk, and by himself, he's not going to accomplish too much.
Yeah. And you've got, well, actually, we'll come back to that point. We're now looking at mid. But, I mean, I just keep watching. Nothing to say is like creep score skyrocket, right? Like, he is just going to be able to, I'm getting Somnus Kunkka vibes from earlier, in our game one of our other series. Ooh, okay, never mind. Weaver does go down top. What I was going to talk about is just the synergy between the Weaver and the Tidehunter, right? A lot of minus armor from the Gush, the Swarm as well, but glad I didn't talk about it because that would have been an instant caster curse. So
you cursed them by just thinking about it.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Loosen the Lunar Blessing here with the Bane. A lot of damage. Ends up giving a kill for Y as well.
Next, I'm taking a lot of damage as well. It's a bottle refilled, so go back up to about half HP. But yeah, this lane very scary. Luna plus any ranged hero, just able to lay the damage into people. And if you're not able to get that Anchor Smash off, you're not reducing enough, and Luna Bane just going to absolutely melt you. Extra 15 damage plus the free attacks you get off of the Nightmare is terrifying.
All right. Looks like I hear an Exorcism. Yeah. Not really sure where, but
Death Prophet committed that one in the mid lane. I think he figures he'd be able to do a little bit of chip damage to this tier 1.
Weaver just making space, I guess.
Yep. But 5-minute mark rolls around. He wants to push this alongside his catapult. He managed to take down the enemy catapult. And
Faith Beyond's even rotated in from the bottom lane. They really do not want to let this tower take a lot of damage here, and they have a whole creep wave. Nothing to say is actually going to drop the boat as well. Doesn't fully connect with the wave, but again, just all zoning tactics here to try and keep this tower alive as long as possible. And it finally does go down. Zinq, he's gonna be all right. Just baiting out XM a little bit.
Yep. When the torrent came out, at the same time the Exorcism came back, so it really wasn't worth committing onto that DP there. And bottles up the rune, goes back to full HP and mana, and just doing an amazing job about farming this Death Prophet. And you were supposed to win this lane, like at the very least zone Kunkka out, but with him ahead, it does not bode well for VC Gaming. Thankfully, Thunder with a kill under his belt is okay, but Luna's moved out of the jungle at this point, and now is going to be out farming your carry. There's no way that Razor keeps up with the Luna, so you're gonna have to make some moves now on VC. And I think that's one of the reasons why we saw that Exorcism committed at the 5-minute mark, even though it wasn't the ideal time to push. They know that they're not going to be able to keep up with this Razor for this Luna's timing. How this game's going.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Kunkka, I mean, we actually saw this exact matchup earlier now that I think about it. It was the Death Prophet mid into the Kunkka, and it still went Super Kunkka favored. Bottom lane, in the jungle, they're going to find a kill there onto the Tusk. Nice grab there.
Scatter Blast does so much damage, man.
Yeah, ability's sick.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. So, Gamma just melts. And I guess the top lane, they're going to start to invade the jungle. They realize that Luna's got a pretty free time, but I'm not sure that any of these deep wards are going to stick. 3 heroes now over here, and you run into the Luna.
Yeah, they do. This has a Ravage as well. They're going to have to commit it, right? Yeah, absolutely worth it. Erica with a rotation as well will be the one that finds the kill, and now you can start pushing this tower. And this makes sense, right? Like, we see heroes from LGD showing up in bottom. Erica does not want to fight into them, comes top, going to help push this tower with Tidehunter. Kind of the same. It's your standard safe lane carry to the offlane rotation that we see, right? Like, nothing too special here, but XM joining as well. They really do want to find this first tower.
Yeah, and of course this will give them easier access into the Luna's jungle, so her space to farm is suddenly getting a lot smaller. She can have the triangle, she can have the creeps close to the mid lane, but going this far out anymore is going to be a big no-no. Thankfully, you've got other heroes that are pretty active that are going to be able to pick up the slack. Once Bloodseeker and Kunkka get like their first or second item, Luna's going to be able to farm all she wants. And speaking of Bloodseeker,
he's actually doing pretty decently. He's recovering a little bit.
We've a Rod of Atos, probably into the Gleipnir for this game.
Yeah.
To hold people down when you have Snapfires and kind of a Luna. Keeping like multiple people in play still at those Moonglaive bounce. really help your DPS.
So the counter rotation to the bottom lane, LGD going to find themselves their first tower. Meanwhile, mid, they are starting to apply pressure. We're going to start seeing some of the TPs to defend as well. So
Don't want to give up the mid tower for the bottom tier 1, but this does make you know, the enemy team's jungle easy for the Luna to farm.
Weaver gets himself very nice patience from him. Let's see that rotation, the exorcism. Committed mid once again. XM trying to do what damage he can to the tower, but with nothing to say sitting in front, it's very difficult. They're going to be able to grab the Tidehunter here. Rupture, again, it's available if they want to use it, but Tidehunter is such a scary hero to initiate on.
It's all magic damage from them right now. You've got
All right, there it is. Rupture out onto XM, but where's your follow-up? It's just going to get salved by Tusk. All right, nicely done.
Before the Mortimer Kisses, it's just not there. They'd have to commit pretty far forward, but I don't think they'll have the Mortimer Kisses until at least the 10-minute mark, so not the end of the world if they ended up wasting that Rupture.
All right. Ravage cooling down about 23 seconds. Both teams back off to farming. Kunkka still at the top of the net worth chart. Razor not too far behind.
I managed to pull ahead with that death on the Luna. The fact that they stopped Luna from farming up her own jungle really slowed them down. So it's wasted rotation. He's going to get the war before you.
Dude, that is a value use of your life. Oh, nice shard. Actually, never mind. It ended up mattering. No, he tried. It was a good attempt, but why? Gets the kill there onto the Tusk. Good find from him.
Nice attempt to run for those golems there. Bloodseeker, he probably isn't feeling like he can be too active until he's got a little bit more catch himself. Wants to get himself that Rod of Atos, the way he's able to get on top of people with Rupture, cancel the TPs, and then have his team follow up. But I do think they need to be a little bit more active. I mean, I don't think Razor's going to wait until he has BKB Refresher before making plays. They're probably going to move into PSG.LGD's triangle pretty quickly and then Ravage this back up. They're great at holding these points, but they're not great at, you know, jumping the heroes right now. So if they let PSG walk into them, or they take control of an area and just kind of choke them out and out-farm them, that's a play for Vici right now.
Yeah, they are going to go ahead and smoke. Yeah, like you said, they do have the Ravage cooling down. Irving's actually going for a Yule Scepter this game. So not a standard build there at all.
That's unfortunate. That's like the worst target you could go on. And you run right into the Bane, he drops the Nightmare on you.
Yeah. So again, I think the idea was to smoke up and get behind this mid tower into a good position for the Ravage. They really do want to take this mid-tier 1 down, and it looks like they may finally do it. LGD respecting the team fight potential here from Vici Gaming as you got Exorcism, Ravage, Eye of the Storm. I mean, these are all really big abilities.
Yeah, you've got Mortimer Kisses now. You could try to set up one kill. Yeah, I don't know about this.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, with this Tidehunter posturing forward, you know, it just completely destroy you if Ravage comes out when you try to drop, you know, a Fiend's Grip off onto somebody. So they back up now. They lose the mid tower. Luna gets a little bit of space off of that, but ooh, Bloodseeker.
They find Faith Beyond. This would be a fantastic kill. It is just the two supports. The question is, do they really have the damage? He has Rupture out, tag team doing a lot of work so far. Here comes the Blood Right. They do finally get the kill. Well done. Mortimer Kisses out onto the Tusk. Rupture is there. Does he finish him off? He does. Nicely done by Xingqiu, finding at least a little bit of a trade there.
That's like a damn if you do, damn if you don't scenario. You walk closer to that Snapfire in order to cancel her Mortimer Kisses with something, or stop them from hitting you, and of course...
She pulls out the double barrel.
Yeah, boom. That's just how it's done.
Yeah. Well done, well done. I mean, still a really solid trade if you're Vici Gaming there. Like, finding the Bloodseeker is really big. Like, this is a hero they've managed to slow down a pretty good amount already. You can see just on the net worth cards. And his utility this game is super important for LGD. Like, they really do need that, like, late game Aghanims, like a BKB as well. Like, he does have to find items this game.
Yeah, he needs to be farming and doing things on the map so, you know, Luna can be off the map in the jungle and maximize the use of the fact that, you know, she's like modern-day Alchemist.
Speaking of Luna, might be in trouble. Irving is here. In comes the Gush. He's got a Ravage and team coming in. Well, Bane might have made a little bit of space here, but there it is. They will commit the Ravage. They got the bugs. There's going to be the Fiend's Grip out onto the Death Prophet, and they turn around with the boat in for nothing to say. He's just going to try and TP out on Luna, but a Yules is there from XM to cancel it. You're going to lose the Luna. You lost the Bane. A valiant effort to keep him alive, but it just wasn't enough.
That was a damn nice try, I gotta say. They like sidestepped for a moment when they saw Bane, because I think they thought that the rest of PSG's heroes were moving in to commit, but it was just him by himself. And realizes that, continues to chase the Luna, and she almost gets that TP off, but I think the last like 0.3 seconds, the Yule Scepter comes out from that Death Prophet, and TP gets canceled. Oh, nice try, but BC making movements around the map every time this Ravage is up, and the Bloodseeker had such a rough lane. He's not really able to make space for this Luna, so the game, despite the fact that you're at the top of the network, your game is slowed more than you want. The Razor shouldn't be this close to you.
Yeah, I agree. Erica on the way to a BKB. Pretty much the standard build here, right? From Razor, it's just kind of the Falcon Blade, treads, BKB. You just want to start fighting as soon as you have that.
Yeah. I wonder how B-Cop feels about this one. I know he really didn't like Erica playing the Wraith King, but Razor might be a little bit more comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fairly active hero. But the Luna is still managing to find stacks in the jungle, especially on the Ancients. Like, this is helping her stay in this game. And like you said, the Razor does fall off in terms of farming speed eventually. And Luna, this is kind of like the moment where she is going to start being a little bit more difficult to keep pace with.
Yeah, but still very easy to kill prior to her getting the BKB. Again, you have a lot of magic damage.
Oh, nice shard block there. Nothing to say on the backside. He's going to be able to snowball to dodge this and know exactly where he's going. Perfect cookie there from Jin Q. And Jose is going to grab the kill.
Yoink at the end there with that Tidebringer hit. Nice pickup. I don't think he'll get them much more of the map. I think once Tusk is back up, Ravage, another 30 seconds, they'll just retake their jungle. Posturing here at the bottom tier 2 tower. They can't actually dive this one, just with his build. Phase Boots, Soul Ring, the extra armor. I think it's like 5. He gets under that tier 2 tower, the Hood of Defiance. You get heavily punished if you try to dive tied into you without the Ravage.
Yeah.
So everybody backs up. The question is if they're going to be able to find the vision that PSG put on their way back through. They're probably going to think that they were a little bit deeper than that one over there that has vision of the river, but we'll see. Spirit Vessel picked up on the Weaver.
Yeah, he was getting pretty close to that already, so that's a nice pickup. Ooh, a little bit of desync here potentially. Yeah, we're going to have to rejoin the game, but no big deal.
Should be back in just a moment. There we go. No time at all.
Wow,
That's how quickly we fix these issues here.
That was excellent.
Yeah. Excellent, like Wise scouting out all these heroes, trying to move through his jungle. Got 1200 night vision, so I think he did catch those guys out, and they didn't see him. He's playing with fire over here, and XM does end up dropping that Exorcism. If you can go through the trees and potentially catch him with a Fiend's Grip on the tower, it'd be great, but you do have Tusk there.
He found Tidehunter. Yeah, he's just like nightmared off the Tidehunter. They're going to Mortimer because he's trying to clear up the wave. There's going to be the fortification. Tusk trying to scout Jin Q. Doesn't actually find him. Nice ward here placed from the Weaver. They are really committing for this tower. And this is going to be a little bit of a problem here for the Snapfire. She's got to leave now. Oh.
That was an interesting use of fortification, but, it did end up securing the tower. Tier 2 taken, outposts open all of a sudden, and that's your XP advantage. You get that pre-17 minutes, and you just start racing ahead now.
It looks like it's so interesting. Both supports from LG are still here in the top lane. I mean, they could try and get some TPs in to take a fight, but it's not easy.
They don't want to. The Bloodseeker's not farmed enough. The Luna still doesn't have a BKB completed. They just have to sack these. And that's why you end up committing Mortimer Kisses for that tower, clearing out the creep wave, because your heroes aren't ready to fight. So
yeah, just trying to waste time from Vici Gaming here. They got the BKB done on the Razor. All very scary stuff. Looks like Luno does have her BKB now, disassembled that Dragon Lance to complete it. I'm sure she'll rebuy that Ogre Club.
Yep, there's the BKB completed now, so that'll potentially take a fight, but ideally you want to complete like 2-3 items on the Luna before fighting with the enemy team.
Ooh, moving.
Footnote on the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if the paint goes down.
Yeah.
That's space, baby.
That's not the end of the world, but still a kill nonetheless for the side of Vici Gaming as they tie up the score 6-6.
A lot of these are just onto the Bane. I mean, Luna's gone down as well a couple of times. There's the BKB now on the Kunkka, so they wouldn't mind taking a fight. And despite the fact that they've got complete map control right now, PSG.LGD are neck and neck with them. XP will swing the way of the Radiant, though, the longer they have this outpost controlled.
Yeah, it's true. Though, one thing to know is they actually are about to finish the BKB on the Death Prophet as well. And I think once you have that, Vici Gaming are going to look to either force the Roshan or take another tier 2. They really want to pressure LGD to take like a bad fight.
Yeah, you can still fight with the BKB and the Death Prophet though with your lineup. I mean, you've got Rupture, you've got Fiend's Grip, and Luna on your team. Huge damage, piercing BKB, really restricting your movement as well. And so Death Prophet feels a little bit weak against a lot of these abilities, and that's why they last picked this Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
And let the Death Prophet through. I think it might have even been baiting them into picking this because it's so good.
I'm actually really curious like what this Bloodseeker is going to go. Like if he finishes the Atos and then decides to go for Gleipnir, if he's going to go back for BKB, go for the Aghanim Scepter. Like we said, he needs a lot of farm this game, and right now he's not really finding it.
Yeah, I think the Gleipnir is useful for its effect, but it's a bit greedy considering you have a Kunga and a Luna.
It's just first item Ags. He says screw the Atos.
Yeah, you were talking about this one, man. You're like, double eggs. I'm calling it right now.
It's the best. It is such a good Ags game for the Bloodseeker. Like you have to pick it up. You go one item into Ags or like I don't know.
Yeah, he changed his mind from that Atos as well. He just ended up getting
a Force Staff
instead.
It's a good Force Staff. You need it for sure. You're against like Death Prophet, Tidehunter,
and
Tusk.
Razor. You want to be able to break the links.
Oh, actually go ahead and jump onto the Weaver bottom. They will be able to burst him down. The chain stun
see that?
Just long enough.
You see that timing on the
Lucent Beam?
Yeah, in the middle of the cast animation for that time lapse. Even the smallest plays at a PSG, they're a treat to watch.
Looks like the Luna might be going the Shard build, so the Chrysalis in the quick buy there for the Luna.
There's your first big item now on the support hero. Aghanim Scepter completed on
Jin Q once again getting it at exactly 20 minutes. This is now the second time. He was the first one here in the DPC to pick up this item early. Yeah, just the Brown Boots one into Aghanim Scepter.
Now the question is if you throw one of your allies in. You've got BKB on the Kunkka, but into a DP ult might be a little bit much.
Just Mortimer Kisses, baby.
Right, they're stalling for time, wasting this exorcism. I mean, this is going to heavily reduce the amount of damage they're doing to Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important that they stall this out and try and take the fight once the exorcism expires. But there goes in the Blink Reveal in from Tusk, holding nothing to say there. Erica just going to close the gap, but a nice Fiend's Grip in from Y, canceled by the silence there. He will TP home, but Y will go down. And Vici Gaming maybe looking at going back into the Roche pit, but they don't have the Exo like we were talking about.
Yeah, they've lost the Bane. They've committed the Fiend's Grip. They still have Ravage, but the Bane had to cancel his own grip. He came out onto these enemy heroes when they got a little bit too close to that Kunkka with the BKB, but as soon as they saw the Tidehunter approaching, it's like, all right, I'm just setting up a Ravage onto multiple heroes. I got to walk back if it means canceling my own Fiend's Grip.
No, he got silenced by DP.
Oh, did he? My bad.
Yeah, DP threw out the silence. And he was just tanking the gank there, waiting so that, I guess, nothing to say could TP home.
Amateur now, we're missing an icon over his head.
Nah, it's all right enough.
Yeah. That's why I got you here. You're the real analyst. I'm just the fluff analyst.
5-man smoke in from PSG.LGD. They know exactly where Vici Gaming is going to be. Nothing. Oh, they actually back off. It's probably the worst possible time, but again, initiation from the Tusk. XM here as well. Snowball in, but you don't have Exorcism this time. Feels a little bit weird, and there's going to be the Rupture out onto the Death Prophet. A little catch from Irving. Big Ravage connects onto 5. Can they actually turn the fight around, though? They're still keeping themselves alive. Nice pick forward the double stun. They take down the Death Prophet. Nice time lapse there, but the Luna surrounded. Gonna fall to Erica. Is now turning his attention over to Faith Beyond. Gets himself a double kill, and baby, a sick setup there by Irving.
Not even by Irving, that was all the Tusk. I mean, he stalled out those BKBs with that snowball on his initiation. They wanted to just breach the high ground, push them all back, but the fact that they wasted so much of those 9-second BKBs there allows Irving to come back in, pop that Ravage, hit all 5 heroes, and win the fight for them. So that Tusk, the stall was like game-winning right there.
Mortimer Kiss going, but nothing to say, just BKBs runs into the pit to steal the Aegis. Now Y in some trouble. The support's going to pay for this one potentially. Ooh, thank you. Over the wall.
There's no way he gets out of here. Are you serious?
Oh, there's a Yules. You know, I was doubting the Tide Yules earlier. I'll never do it again.
There you go. The last second. They were cool, calm, and collected. I should have been as well. But that Aegis deal, nothing to say. Getting to the pit, salvaging this game. Salvaging that play there for PSG. They ended up getting the kill into Roshan as well. So a bit of extra gold going everybody's way. And less than a 1K net worth advantage despite that pretty disastrous fight around the Roche pit.
Yeah, it was actually a really funny decision. Like, they just dropped Mortimer Kisses into the pit, forced Vici Gaming out of it. Nothing to say is like, I'm just going to
walk in.
I'm going to go finish that real quick.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Has he got the Seafarer shoes on?
Probably not.
sure he's got way more swagged out shoes though.
I think he's got the waterlogged shoes. I can't quite tell though.
Oh, he does. He's got the footprints underneath it.
Yeah, I see the fish. Yeah, those things are really cool.
Man, these PSG players always completely swagged out with their hats. All right, invading the enemy team's jungle, but with Ravage still on cooldown and your other cores far from you, they're going to be forced to back up. So finally a chance to reclaim their outpost here. XP advantage still definitely the way of VC Gaming after these last couple of team fights, but nothing to say. Definitely salvage things with that last play. The question is if they can stall out long enough to get a couple of these really useful items, these timings on the side of PSG. You really want this Aghanim Scepter, being able to hit 2 heroes with the Rupture and like give them the runaround in these team fights, just stopping them from stalling out like that Tusk did previously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is huge.
Well, they're going to smoke up again, try and find themselves...
A bit early.
Yeah, he's 300 gold from his Ags, but they just want to go ahead and maybe just establish a vision here and see if they can find a quick pickoff. Well, they're going to run into Tusk. Ooh, nice blink out.
Moves.
He's going to be fine. In comes Irving. Might have to be careful here. And there's going to be the Rupture. The Mortimer Kiss is coming through. It's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Duels might buy him enough space, but boat comes through. Irving will fall. He pump faked the Ravage. He thought about it.
He thought about it. He realized that would have been a little bit of a waste, and it definitely wouldn't have saved him there, I feel. And that's a lot of their team fight and their catch, right? The moment that PSG try to take a team fight against you, your Ravage is the only thing that discourages them and holds them down for long enough for this Razor and the DP to actually stay on them. Because, they've got these 4 staffs. They've got a bunch of movement speed. They've got Bane, all to bail these people out. Or even the Ruptures help bail people out as the DP and the Razor try to run at you.
I'm fairly sure this Bloodseeker just goes Refresher second item.
That would be hilarious. I'm not sure.
He's either going to go BKB or Refresher.
He's got Lotus Orb queued up.
You think so? Oh,
yeah.
Boo.
Faith Beyond, very sane, man.
Dude, I mean, this is such a good BKB Refresher game. We'll see. He had Atos and queued into an Axe, so we'll see. He could change his mind.
We are in the Refresher BKB meta right now. 12 seconds to get Refresher Orb. Does feel pretty good, especially against this roster. This group of heroes, but VC Gaming, once the Refresher Orb and maybe a couple other items are completed on this Razor, I think the things will turn back around. They'll have an easier time taking these team fights, and then might need not to rely on the Ravage so much.
Nothing to say. Playing the Dangler role here on the Kunkka, sitting at the tier 2 tower. Not much you can do on the side of Vici though, so they will take themselves their first tier 2. They're gonna be able to grab themselves the enemy outpost, kind of even up that XP, and gobble up. Finds the Tide Hunter. Rupture comes through. X into the Torrent. Plus the Blood Right. All right, nice duels to dodge it out, but he's all alone. Irving, no chance of surviving this. Was that an offensive Force Staff to kill him?
I think so, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. They pulled him, like he walked a little bit distance, they pulled him back right away. That Rupture ended up doing so much damage to the Tide Hunter there when he went down, and that's the beauty. Aghanim Scepter still got it available. He's working on a Lotus Orb of his own. Try to punish the Bloodseeker for dropping these Ruptures, but I don't think he's going to care too much. I think he just drops them anyway, even if he sees a Lotus on a hero.
I mean, it's so important that he Ruptures up like Tide Hunter or Death Prophet or Razor in these fights, and that's one of the things where it's like I kind of feel like the later this game goes, the easier it is for LG, and it's honestly just because of this Bloodseeker's impact, like having an eventual Refresher here.
Yeah, but he's got, big side character impact now. He's like doing something to weaken the enemies before the hero finishes them off.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, that's teamwork, and PSG.LGD is teamwork. Who'd you say the protagonist of PSG.LGD is?
I don't know, but why? Yukon here by the Tusk Force Staff, by a little bit of space, gets a nice Nightmare off, but he is still surrounded and all alone.
Not going anywhere. Definitely not why.
Yeah, they will know about the ward there now on that high ground, as Jama did blink out of fog to get that Walrus Punch, so they'll get that dewarded in no time, I'm sure.
Yeah, circling that one out. Hey guys, got a problem up here.
I will say Tusk has had some fantastic blinks this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. This has looked very good this game, but the hero does fall off, and you feel a little bit useless as the game goes on. I think he does a great job of wasting the BKB times on PSG, but outside of that, he's like your initiator, a staller, and then...
They've got vision on the high ground here. They're scouting this heroes once again. There's going to be your gobble up. The question on to who? It's going to be Erica into the Mortimer Kisses. Can they get the chainsaws? They just dropped the Rupture on. She's going to try and DP home. That will be enough. You force the BKB. There's no real other stun. Like, the Bane was not close enough to get to the Fiend's Grip.
No. I mean, you initiated from so far away. You wanted to get vision by throwing out that Snapfire gobble up there and just raining hell on them. But unfortunately, BKBs gets you straight out.
I really thought they were going to initiate on the Tide. They did have him on like the front side of the high ground.
You can. You initiate on the Tide, you lose.
Well, you just rupture him again, you know?
And then he like walks away for a little while, and then he ravages you, and his team kills you.
They might have their BKBs done on the Luna and the Kunkka, though.
They do.
Okay, yeah.
They've got those complete. They've had them for a while now, but we saw what happened last time. The Tusk comes in, snowballs, stalls out those BKBs, and then the Ravage comes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He'll just run it back again. So PSG need to get the jump on them before they're able to react to this Titan. I don't think like Titan is ever an ideal target for them unless you can see some of these other heroes in a different lane.
Goodness, the damage coming out from the Kunkka here is pretty absurd. I mean, Kunkka and Luna are incredibly farmed. I love the Hex that he's building into some more control for the side of PSG.LGD here.
They've got these Yule Scepters, the Blinks now. The Yule Scepter on Xiaoma. I mean, if it's only Luna doing the damage in the late game, you just toss her into the air a couple of times, or you lose yourself whenever she tries to quit on you if she's got the BKB active, it's going to be pretty effective. You know, just by existing in these team fights, the Raze and the Death Prophet are going to pump out damage.
I mean, they do smoke up here on the side of Vici, trying to find the side of PSG.LGD. They just finished the refresher here for the Razor. It looks like they might find Jinq. He gets the ward, or the rune deny. And there's the scans. They actually don't have vision of them right now, but they do know that they're up in their own triangle, so not an easy place to take the fight if you're VG Gaming, so they're actually just going to go ahead and probably clear out the mid lane.
This is an absolutely wild positioning. Enemy
a lot
team
of Lotus Orbs.
Yeah, a lot of Lotus Orbs. A lot of single target abilities this game. I mean, it is so helpful against Bane. He nightmares himself. He's just like, he can't do anything when like you drop that Lotus Orb onto whatever person he's trying to target, so it buys you a lot of time in these team fights or forces him to use, which is really different.
And they find the Weaver, the X, the boat. All right, not a bad one. They actually, wait a minute. The sleep onto Erica, you just BKBs?
Yep.
Trying to chase down the Luna. She can just BKB TP home, right? That's exactly what's going to happen. She make it on time? She does not. The damage from the refresher of Erica is too much.
Yeah, you melt to that one, and there wasn't anything Bane could do about that. He just runs at him. He's got the BKB active. He's got the Lotus on top of him. He Fiend's Grip and just instantly gets interrupted. Lotus Orbs, Dual Scepters, they are being absolute menaces here on VC Gaming, and PSG, they're going to struggle to play around these things as good as they are at team play. Now, just forced to stall it for time. A couple of heroes. They'll try to shove up bottom lane. I see Erica. They've got vision onto Tusk as well. We're in the top lane, so they know it's safe to push out mid here on the Bloodseeker.
And shout out to Erica, honestly. We were talking so many times about how Luna will always just, you know, pull ahead of this Razor and out farm, but he is just neck and neck. And has had a lot more impact on the Razor than, say, the Luna has this game. He is 7-0-2. Like a fantastic showing.
Absolutely. Maybe I'm giving too much credit to Xiaoma. I just feel like he's enabling all this.
Xiaoma's been doing a lot. Gobble up. And scout them into the Roshan there.
Wants to be able to force them back out of the pit. I mean, Luna still dead at the moment. She does a lot of damage, but she's not great at standing her ground yet. She built a Daedalus immediately after a BKB, but I think she needs to tank up for her next item.
Oh, nice X. Will pull back. The Luna kind of save her there, and she goes for the BKB. Gonna turn around. There's gonna be your Eclipse, but so far you've really only found the Tusk. Question is, can they get more?
That was insane, that pullback on the Luna. They did not know that X was on her.
Oh, Yules will dodge out the following X, and now X enters round with this Exorcism. And Luna, you've already committed your spells. They gotta come in, they gotta get out. Xingqiu with the save. Thanks for the Gobble Up. Will be able to get the Luna out, but the rest of the team, are they gonna be as lucky? Why just trying to TP home? Doesn't make it, but honestly, salvage fight there for PSG. I thought this was gonna be a disaster.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think it was just as good by VC. I mean, the secondary use of these Yule Scepters, we tried to drop that Fiend's Grip onto the Death Prophet and just get everybody out or potentially turn on her, but immediately Tyrandra Yule Scepter off onto the Bane, so he just can't use his Fiend's Grip this game. With the Lotus Orbs, with the Yule Scepters, there's too much control for him, so it essentially feels like they're playing down a hero. Just, good that was for PSG for kind of salvaging that fight. BC Gaming. Well, they did that without the Tidehunter, without any stuns. They managed to force PSG back and take down the Bane.
Yeah, I mean, they had blown the Ravage so much earlier, right? And so they didn't really have a lot of tools, but...
Yeah, Tidehunter dead.
All right. Roshan number 2, neither team has managed to take it yet. 5k gold lead now for PSG.LGD, so they are pulling a little bit further ahead. One of the first real leads of the game, honestly. Like, this has been extremely close. They're going to actually smoke up as 5 once again. Start heading down the mid lane. Lacking some ultimates, but here we go. 10 heroes under the cover of smoke.
No Bloodseekers here, just dropping the blood right on the tower, but Blink comes out too fast. The moment he sees that plasma field from the Razor, he just blinks back. Doesn't want to take the chance, and both teams now going to be forced to play around the Roche pit. I mean, this is a massive objective.
Yeah, it really is. If they can find Irving, Ravage on cooldown for another 30 seconds. They know this is here. Why? With the vision. On the backside, we'll be able to put Jalma to sleep. Gets woken up thanks to the Lotus Orb.
BC hesitant to take this fight, even though, I mean, they don't have Ravage. They've only got buyback right now on the Razor. If they lose the fight here, then they fall even further behind. So, yeah, like, PSG are giving them the ability to stall this one out until they got Ravage back up, and they're taking them up on it. They're looking to smoke up one more time, but doing so a little bit slow on PSG, which is uncharacteristic of them. Normally it's snap anywhere on the map the moment they group up again.
All right, I mean...
Both teams just so afraid of the enemy team trying to sneak this Roshan. It's just the dance around the pit.
Yeah, I mean, it really is such an important objective.
Yep.
The free Aegis and Shard.
Yep.
And
both. Either team gets caught out here. Like, you're fighting into, the Exorcism Refresher Razor. You're fighting into a Ravage on that side, or, you potentially get caught out by the boat, or, run out of the pit and separate your team by 2 ruptures. So they have to be so careful with initiation.
We will scout them. The ward going to get taken down. Smoke does get exposed there, so they don't actually find anything, but they do manage to take away a little bit of vision around the Roche pit here, which still very valuable. They're going to have to go deal with lanes at some point, yeah, and Death Prophet TP's back to tier 2 mid. The rest of PSG.LGD still grouped up here.
Someone will have to deal with the bottom lane. I think PSG are realizing that, all right, mid-bottom both push pretty far in. If we could force them into their base, then we'll be able to grab this Roche, sneak it from them. That's exactly what Kunka's doing.
Ooh, Walrus coming in. There's the punch. Gets saved by Jinkyu once again, thanks to the Gobble Up. The rest of the team will be trying to pursue here, but it doesn't look like they're going to find anything. Faith Beyond. Would love to rupture up XM, but protected thanks to the Lotus Orb, and backs out just in time.
Yep. Fortify used as they're forced to pop that as the wave did end up meeting with the tier 3 tower. Makes it nothing to say, shoving that out. They're just so good at controlling the map right now, but they try to bait them into the Roche pit with that scan.
Oh, they get the Walrus punch. He gets the BKB off, though. Trying to be able to take down the Bane. He will fall first. Rupture, though, onto the Death Prophet. Can't really continue the chase. Nice Yule's there to dodge out the signs for the buyback in from the Bane. He wants to rejoin the fight. The BKB from XM. Gonna protect him. The Mortimer Kiss is zoning out the backside of the fight, but they're gonna go in, trying to collapse onto the Death Prophet. She gets the 2 heroes. Spirit Siphon, Erica pops the refreshers in Q with the saves. Once again, Gobble Up sending him back in. Luna, you're fighting whether you want to or not, apparently, and it seems like she does not. Cookie try to save her for the moment. And they actually turn this around. A lot of damage from the Lucent Being. Time-lapse going to give them some space to work with here. Kunka thinking about reinitiating as well. If they can get their hands on top of the Weaver, it'd be a decent kill, but they don't commit another Rupture. They can't find anything.
Oh, that Luna getting Cookie back in. They stopped my heart for a moment there. I was certain that she would end up just dying there. And no buyback available if she went down. Roche certainly would have gone the way of VC, but almost turning that one, but no casualties at the reinitiation.
Yeah, it's always really funny to just yeet your allies into a fight and be like, yeah, get in there, buddy.
Yeah.
You got this, right?
Yeah, it was such a sick save originally for the Snapfire, because he blinks in underneath, like, the Razor's dots, the Exorcism, and, grabs him with that Gobble Up, blinks back out, and then is like, actually, you don't need to be safe. Get right back in there, bud.
Yeah.
But, thankfully, there will be no kick as Luna survived that one.
All right, ulti cooldowns here on the top right. As we can see, Ravage still about a minute off. Exorcism about 30 seconds. The Shard's actually kind of helping the Luna here. Oh, nice. Centaur's going to set up the backside of this fight. Erica needs to be a little bit careful. BKB is online. The reflected Rupture is scary, but Erica just dies before he can use anything. He's going to buy back, though. Still has that BKB available as a result. Kunkka trying to find another kill here. Finds the Tusk, times the Torrent. Oh, he gets the blink out instead. Well played by Xiaoma.
All utility on this guy. Yule Scepter, blink, snowball, great at stalling for time, and Berserk had to buy back for this one, but
Mortimer Kisses trying to cancel a tide from being able to get into this fight. Another Rupture, this time onto the Weaver. XM just goes into the pit with the Exorcism. He's got to be careful, though. They've got the damage. Who gets the Roche? It goes the way of Shin-Q. Not the best Aegis holder, but better than the other team getting it. Irving falling a little bit low, will be able to make it out. Force Staff trying to get Jin-Q out of this fight. Spirit Vessel not going to be enough to finish him off. Again, another huge engagement, but it seems like no one dies. There's going to be another Rupture, this time onto the Tidehunter. Lucent Beam gets silenced by XM. Will be able to save him. Gobble Up doesn't connect onto anything either.
Coming in so clutch there. That certainly would have killed him there. And he could have even dropped the Lucent Beam nearby, but caught out there by XM. Both teams playing out of their minds here. And you weren't the happiest about the Aegis going the way of Snapfire, but you know, quickest trigger finger wins, and Snapfire is pretty quick with that shotgun.
Yeah.
As
it
we've
was
seen.
absolutely worth it. Like, you just don't want it to go the way of like the heroes of Vici Gaming, right? If Razor gets the Aegis, it's really scary. He just bought back in this last engagement, so obviously would be the best target for the side of Vici Gaming, but either way, LG get it at the end. They also grab themselves a Timeless Relic and an Aesthetic Cap, so these are pretty sick jungle items here.
Yeah, I'm wondering who the Timeless Relic goes the way of. It's possible.
It's gotta go Bloodseeker, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking Bloodseeker. He's holding on to the Aesthetic Cap right now because, you know, he is playing pretty far forward, but that spell damage he's doing is absolutely huge.
Actually, put it on Jin-Q Snapfire. Snapfire
take it off again. Deciding who gets what still.
I don't know. Yeah,
Musical neutral items.
Yes, of course. My favorite party game.
Yeah. I want to take a moment to away from your party game for half a moment, talk about the video game here. I want to say that it was an amazing, you know, guess. Them going for the Aghanim Scepter on the Bloodseeker. It is so important in this game. It has been doing a lot of work in these team fights. Razor wouldn't have died with it. It's stopping them from being able to reinitiate. Like, it is so good against his Razor in the DP.
Yes, yes, it's like the main reason that you'd pick the Bloodseeker into this game, right? Like,
yep.
The problem is he's really underfarmed compared to where Bloodseekers would like to be. I can't tell if this is like necessarily because, you know, they're prioritizing the Snapfire's farm here. Nothing to lose. Mid lane doesn't get the crit there onto Irving.
Nothing to lose.
Huh?
You said nothing to lose.
No, it's because I'm saying he's running in on the Kunkka.
Oh yeah. Fair. The other one was unintentional. Missing your dad jokes, buddy.
Yeah, I try.
Trickster Cloak now found on the Snapfire. That'll meet a lot harder to jumper on the back lines if she decides to hold on to that one. And Eye of Scotty now completed on the Luna. This is huge against basically all these heroes, preventing the healing on this Tidehunter, Death Prophet, and of course that 50% slow. And that applies to your Lucent Beam attacks that come out as well. There is going to be no running away anymore between that Rupture, between that 50% slow Eye of Scotty on the Luna. And she's able to play a little bit further forward onto the front line, and she's a bit more tanky.
Yeah, you can just do this all day. There's like the feels good section of the game. It's Kunkka. You just get to X yourself, run in, and one shot away.
They don't get to just do this. You know how many Yule Scepters they have on the side of Vici?
It's true. It's a lot.
Yeah. They will be in a lot of trouble if they just get the Yules off on the Kunkka one time he goes a little bit too far forward. So just be careful with how often he does this.
Managed to find Irving here. Aesthetics Cap actually will reduce the duration quite a bit. He gets the blink out after the Yules. Mortimer Kisses on the backside will also find the Tusk. Huge crit from nothing to say his Kunkka there. And Erica with the static link trying to chase it down. Will pop the BKB as well as the refresher. And now you gotta be careful. Jin-Q will be able to save him for now, but he is gonna fall wide. Gonna regret this Fiend's Grip here pretty fast as Erica finds himself a second. Will be able to TP home on the Luna. Jin-Q with his BKB barely makes it out as well. So, all right, the Aegis ended up being pretty sick. Worked out all right.
Get the Snapfire home. That's all you can really ask for. Unfortunately, you know, you do lose the Bane. The Fiend's Grip wasted as well, trying to hold that TP in place. I think they figured they'd be able to potentially turn that fight, but with nothing to say so far away from the rest of his team because, you know, he's forced to gobble him up, spit him back out in order to get away from that static link. That fight was never happening. I think it was I wasn't sure if that's a rare, uncharacteristic, you know, poor team coordination from PSG.LGD, or it might have been like just Bane committing it to hold him in place. Probably the latter.
Probably the latter. I think you're right. But 43 minutes of the game, 17 to 15. You do have a pretty decent gold lead still here on the side of PSG.LGD. They've been slowly advancing it this game, like very, very slowly. It's just been kind of going their way. I love Snapfire. Grabbing the Spell Prism is pretty... Whoa. Ends up going the Little Shredder attack damage.
Rescaling. Look what he's got queued up.
Yeah,
Desolator, Daedalus. The Snapfire's got big dreams.
I mean, okay.
Yeah,
why not?
This isn't the first time we've seen this from Zinq, though. I mean, he just...
No, it was Weaver.
Yeah.
His Weaver build where it's just like, yeah, I'm the carry, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, if Bloodseeker's like going full utility, not doing too much damage, you know, if they focus down this Luna, you're going to want your position 4 to be doing a lot of right-click. And this is going to be a lot of right-click.
Yeah.
Also melt towers pretty quickly. Once you get like a little Shredder plus Desolator onto a tower, it just melts.
The 25 talent is so loud. You know, the Little Shredder attacks 3 targets or whatever. It triples the loud. It triples the sound volume. It's just, oh man.
That's good game design.
Yeah, absolutely.
I refuse to hear that it isn't. So,
Tidehunter Refresher now. I mean, that's pretty big.
Yep. Is the Refresher done on the Death Prophet yet? I believe so.
It looks like it's being delivered.
Yep.
Yeah, so they've got all 3 of the Refreshers online and an instant smoke and head out onto the map, see if they can find themselves an enemy team to kill.
Yeah. Double Exorcism. Well, it doesn't refresh or it doesn't apply like a
Oh, nothing to say. In some trouble. Just BKBs though, and we'll leave. Yeah. That Walrus Punch actually ended up kind of griefing them a little bit. They needed to get the Yule Scepters on him to cancel the X back, right?
Yeah. Yule Scepters need to come out, but you know, if he's BKB, nothing could be able to do it. So the fact that he ended up getting that BKB off to begin with did kind of grief him. But the moment you come down from the first Jules, you'll be able to hit that BKB and then pull yourself back. So there might not have been any getting him there. And you can pop the BKB faster than they're going to be able to like drop the Yules on you. The server tick.
No, either way, I think they're doing a really good job at cutting these waves. Like he's had it's pretty much all he's been doing like the last 10 minutes or so.
Yep.
And Luna has the Lincolns. I'm curious what her next item is going to be. Is it the Pike?
Probably. I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what she's had flying out to her right now. And then at this point, you know, you're gonna hit the item shard. You can potentially get a scepter upgrade. You can replace your boots.
Another Daedalus. This one for the Kunkka. He wants to do damage, man.
Yeah, they're just looking to blow these heroes up. Going for this instead of a Silver Edge is surprising, but I think
they've got a Silver Edge, don't they?
The Kunkka?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I think he does. I think he has Silver Edge.
Multiple Daedalus build is the meta, at least was.
About to be a third Daedalus in a moment. Rupture there, onto the Razor. That damage, not insignificant as he has to go all the way back to the tower.
Yeah.
But he's still got another one.
Yeah. They don't end up committing Mortimer Kisses this time. I guess they figure he's not going to be able to kill him. He's just going to pop that BKB and then things will be on cooldown. And it's more important for them to control the area around his pit right now. They use that big teamfight ultimate. There's no controlling the pit.
Worse than the Satanic there. I mean, next Roshan, it's a big one. Aegis Cheese as well as either Refresher or an Ags. A free Ags this game for the side of LGD.
Yeah, and only 40 seconds until Roche is back up. All the abilities are off of cooldown. You've got Refresher Orbs available.
You see Irving top? Nah, he's protected by the Lotus Orb. It's hard, man. Like you were saying, the Lotus Orbs, anytime they show in the lane, they're just making sure to have that on top so they don't get ruptured out of position.
Yeah. Yule Scepters as well. Buy them a little bit of time if they try to commit with multiple heroes. But 19, another 15 seconds now, and the issue is going to be forced by one of these teams. Roshan's going to respawn, and the amount of right-click damage they have on PSG, I think they might just try to rush it.
Dude, this Bloodseeker is just sitting on so much money. He's just 3,300 gold. All right, Rupture. Once again, this time dropped onto XM. I mean, this is a great target if you can actually get the initiation, but it's so scary. You're fighting into Refresher Tide, Refresher DP, and Refresher Razor. None of these heroes. You don't really want to overextend to try and get these kills.
You go up into the triangle against a Refresher Tide to like come in on the DP, your entire team is just going to die. So
Tide's actually going Wind Waker, and this is a pretty sweet item. You don't only see it all that often, but in this game, it's really nice.
Well, you can use it on yourself, gap a little bit of distance when you've got Rupture on you as you're invulnerable. You can use it on your allies if they're controlled up. So this Bane has not had an easy game. It's 3, 10, and 3. Given how broken this hero is right now, like shows how good the itemization, the position is on the side of VC, and Wind Waker will make that even harder. Your P grip is never going to connect.
They're going to scout this. Nice charge on the backside. Rupture pretty much dropped already. Erica needs to be careful here. He almost dies in the cleave there from nothing to say. And Erica, he goes down, does have buyback. Will have to commit that XM with the Exorcism. Already dropped on the front side of this fight. This DD from Kunkka just did so much work. Beautiful plays from him. And now in comes the Rabbit from Irving, #1. In comes #2. Can they take down the Luna? In time, the fear from the Shard. XM gets the kill. He's going to buy himself back into this game. Nothing to say. Coming in once again, big crit, takes down Tusk, almost finds another crit. #2 comes out, XM forced the Yules, falling low inside the pit. Can he finish him off? He does not. It goes the way of Vici Gaming to get the Ages, to get the G's. Buyback from 3 more, but Erica's surrounded. He needs help and fast. LGD, can they do it? Can they take down the Razor? Second time, there's going to be a refresher. A beautiful snowball. In comes the BKB from the Luna, though. She does a lot of damage. Erica getting shredded here, protected by...
Trickster Cloak.
Is that what it is? I was like, how'd you go in
They
this?
don't have protection. They got vision on him now.
Faith Beyond tries to go back in, but he pops the cheese. Erica baited him. Signs from the Death Prophet trying to chase down on the backside, Cookie to the low ground, but Luna stuck here against the Death Prophet's Exorcism. That's going to be a dieback. XM looking for more. Jin Q, the Snapfire, your real carry at this point. Can they actually do it? They get the cleave from the Kunkka. The fight never ending as XM standing his ground against 4 heroes here from LGD. Jin Q pops the BKB. There's going to be the X. Goes in, gets the kill, and it's going to be a full wipe. LGD crushes Vici in what I thought was going to be an impossible fight.
I thought when the snowball save came out, there was no way they finished them off, but nothing to say, doing so much work inside that Roche pit, cleaving them all down. The Daedalus is definitely the right build. And
18,000 damage.
Yeah, he played absolutely insane in that fight. The amount of damage he did with his Tidebringer was crazy, and there's no way to defend from this one. The little Shredder is going to absolutely melt these towers. As soon as they get through the tier 3s, they're going to the tier 4s. And
what did he buy? He'd had to buy something.
He bought a Desolator so he could push faster. Of course he did. This is nothing to say we're talking about.
I mean, I see he's in Q. I thought he already had it already, but he doesn't. There's the GG. LGD do it on the back of 4 diebacks at the Roshan.
That was an absolutely insane team fight. And VC, they played this game so well. So many defensive items, such good coordination, always being like heads up about this Bane. But regardless of that, nothing to say. The insane